Good morning, students. I hope I am audible. I welcome
Yes,
you
sir.
all for today's
Yes, sir.
class. Before starting today's class, let us have a recap of last week's topics. In the last week's in the last week, we have started module one, semiconductor diodes and applications. In this module one, in last week, we have come across the fact that PN junction diode is a two-layer semiconductor device which conducts in one direction, and there are many applications of this PN junction diode. Also, we have come across the fact that there are some special purpose diodes like Zener and LED. Coming to the operation of this PN junction diode, we have studied how does this unbiased PN junction diode works, or what is the phenomenon that takes place in an unbiased PN junction diode. Unbiased PN junction diode is one where you have not applied any external voltage. Later on, we have studied how a reverse biased PN junction diode works. So, reverse bias means essentially you are connecting positive terminal of the supply to negative terminal of the diode, and negative terminal of the supply to positive terminal of the diode as shown in the figure. So in reverse biased PN junction diode, what will happen is a small amount of current called as reverse saturation current will flow, which is mainly due to the presence of minority carriers on both P and N side. And one more important phenomenon that takes place in reverse biased PN junction diode is the depletion region widens. Next, we have studied forward biased PN junction diode. The diode is meant to operate in forward biased PN junction forward biased mode itself, right? So in forward biased mode, it is just like a switch. So it is working like there is a short circuit between the two terminals of the diode. So in forward biased mode, what will happen is the first thing is you are connecting the positive terminal of the supply to positive terminal of the diode, negative terminal of the supply to negative terminal of the diode, and the current that flows will be in the same direction as the conventional current. And one more important phenomenon that takes place in this forward biased diode is the narrowing of depletion region. The width of depletion region reduces in case of forward biased diode. Later on, we have studied the characteristics of this diode in both forward biased mode as well as reverse biased mode. So in this graph, this first quadrant is the VI characteristics of diode in forward biased mode. This third quadrant is the reverse bias characteristic of this PN junction diode. Later on, we have studied what are the two ways in which this breakdown occurs. So breakdown is this region of operation where you have applied sufficiently high value of reverse voltage during reverse bias, and there is sufficiently large current which is flowing, that to reverse current that is flowing when the diode is reverse biased. So this region is actually the breakdown region. So if this breakdown occurs in two ways. One is the normal way, which is avalanche effect, which occurs in almost all kind of diodes. So in this avalanche effect, the reverse breakdown current initially begins with the high energy gained minority carriers. So these high energy gained minority carriers will collide with other atoms and release multiple carriers, and in turn carrier multiplication takes place and very high current flows in the reverse direction. That is avalanche effect. One more effect is Zener breakdown. In Zener breakdown especially occurs in a Zener diode where the doping concentration of P and N region will be very high. Due to this high of P and N region, what will happen is the width of depletion region will be very less, and also the breakdown voltage will be as low as 5 volt or 10 volt. So the breakdown which occurs in this condition is called as a Zener breakdown. Due to this less width of depletion region, what will happen is even if you apply 5 volt or 10 volt, the voltage will be sufficient to produce a electric field which will immediately release the valence electrons from the outermost shell and bring them to conduction band, and which will lead to a high flow of current in the reverse direction. So in case of a Zener breakdown, the effect will not be initiated by the minority carriers, because here the width of depletion region is very small. So small voltage like 5 volt or 10 volt is sufficient enough to produce an intense electric field which will immediately bring out the valence electrons to the conduction band, and high reverse current will flow. And also we have studied this diode relationship or current equation of diode. Then we have studied equivalent circuit of diode, or also called as a diode approximation. The application of these equivalent circuits is circuit analysis or network analysis. That is, in simple words, to find out voltage and currents at various parts of the circuit. That is what is circuit analysis. And out of these three, the last one, which is this approximate model, will be used in most of the circuit analysis applications. To begin with today's topic, let us start with Zener diode. So in this class, we are studying this Zener diode and what is the application of this Zener diode in the real world. So as I already discussed in this breakdown phenomenon, something called as Zener breakdown will occur only in case of diodes which are called as Zener diodes. So what is this Zener diode? See, this Zener diode is also a PN junction diode where the doping concentration of P and N region, P type semiconductor and N type semiconductor, is very high. This will result in smaller width of depletion region, so that the reverse breakdown voltage will be as low as 5 volt or 10 volt. So this Zener diode is meant to be used in the reverse biased condition. That too, it is used in a peculiar application called as voltage regulator. So to operate this Zener diode in voltage regulator mode, it should be operated in reverse biased condition. This Zener diode in most of the applications will be used as a voltage regulator. It has to operate in reversed biased condition. So here figure 7.a, this shows an approximate Zener diode current voltage characteristics, IV characteristic or VI characteristic. Here you can see in forward biased mode, it is just like a short circuit. Immediately it will conduct the forward current in the forward biased mode. In the reverse biased mode, as you keep on increasing this reverse voltage, the current will be less, slightly less, till you reach something called as VZ. VZ is reverse breakdown voltage. When your reverse voltage exceeds this VZ, a sudden increase in current will be appearing on your diode. This is called as reverse breakdown current. Here you can also observe that this line is having a small slope. From that slope you can calculate the dynamic resistance, which is Rz, and this can be change in Vz divided by change in Iz. So that is how you can calculate this Rz. I hope this characteristic is clear. So this Zener diode always will be operated in this region. This is reverse breakdown region. And one more thing, this Zener diode conducts only if reverse bias exceeds this Vz. When you operate this Zener diode in reverse biased condition, you should make sure that the applied reverse voltage should be greater than this Vz. If the applied reverse voltage is not greater than this Vz, your Zener diode cannot be used as a voltage regulator. Next, figure 7. Figure 7b shows Zener diode symbol. Here not only Zener diode symbol, we have also the ordinary diode or the normal PN junction diode symbol. In case of ordinary diode, we have a triangle followed by a straight vertical line, right? So you can see this line and a triangle. And here the positive terminal of the diode, which is called as anode, is connected to the positive terminal of the supply, and the negative terminal of the diode, which is called as cathode, is connected to negative terminal of the supply. And the flow of current is always in the conventional correct direction, that is from positive terminal to negative terminal the current flows. This is the ordinary diode. Observe the differences in Zener diode. In Zener diode, the first difference is the triangle is in reverse direction, and you can see the line is not a complete vertical line. It is bended on both sides. Here also you can see the small bend, and here also you can see the small bend. If you write this type of a line after a triangle, then the diode symbol is the symbol for Zener diode. And the second difference in this Zener diode symbol is, as this Zener diode is usually operated in reverse biased condition, we can see the flow of current. So the current flows from cathode to anode, and cathode is always connected to the positive terminal of the supply, and anode is connected to the negative terminal of the supply, because this Zener diode should be operated in reverse biased mode. So you can observe the difference in the polarity as well as the flow of current. So the current flows from cathode to anode in case of Zener diode, because this symbol is mainly with respect to the reverse biased mode of operation of this Zener diode. Figure 7c shows a Zener diode equivalent circuit. So the use of equivalent circuit is to perform circuit analysis or network analysis to find out different currents and voltages in a particular circuit. For that, what you have to do is, wherever Zener diode is there in any circuit, you have to replace that Zener diode with this equivalent circuit. So this is linear piecewise equivalent circuit. Here you can find out both the breakdown voltage as well as breakdown voltage, which is represented as a battery, along with the forward resistance. Forward resistance is mainly due to the small slope which you can see in this reverse characteristic line. Because of that, you find this resistance. So this diode offers small amount of resistance for the flow of reverse current, that is modeled by inserting this resistance, which is called as RZ, which mainly models the dynamic resistance in the reverse biased mode. And this one is approximate model of this Zener diode, where you have just made this RZ0. So you have only this battery which indicates the reverse breakdown voltage. So what this equivalent circuit tells you that if your applied voltage is greater than this Vz, your current Iz, that is reverse current, will drastically increase, or reverse current will exist. If your applied voltage is not greater than Vz, then Iz will be essentially equal to zero, or a very small value which can be negligible. Coming to the application of this Zener diode, as I already told, Zener diode can be used as a voltage regulator. So the question is, what do you mean by a voltage regulator? So a voltage regulator is a device which is maintaining a constant output voltage despite of variation in its input voltage or variation in the output load current. So there can be two parameters here. Either input voltage which is applied to this voltage regulator may vary, or the output load may vary. Output load means it can be an LED or a resistor or one more circuit. If the load or the current for with this output varies, then uh, it is called as variation in load, right? So this voltage regulator should maintain constant voltage across the load, irrespective of fluctuations in input or the load current. Here you can see a circuit of this Zener diode voltage regulator. This is our Zener diode, right? So here The Zener diode is connected in a reverse condition where the positive terminal of the battery is connected to the cathode and negative terminal of the battery is connected to anode, battery or power supply. This is called as input voltage or input power supply to the diode. And this is a series resistance RS which is connected in series with the diode. At the output, you can see a resistance called as RL. This is representing the load. This can be a single resistor, or else this can be a one more circuit, or it can be an LED. And this V out or the output voltage is taken out across this diode. Therefore, as this diode maintains a constant voltage Vz, output will also have the constant voltage. Output load will also get the constant voltage Vz. Therefore, it is written as V out equals Vz. Here you can see one current IL, right? So this is called as a load current which flows through the load. Any variation in this load, if the load increases, if the value of this RL increases, essentially this load current will come down. If the value of RL decreases, essentially the value of IL will increase. So this is called as variation in load, right? Variation in input means plus or minus variation in Vin. Vin can be increased by 1 volt or Vin can be decreased by 1 volt. That is called as variation in input voltage. So either there can be variation in input voltage or variation in load. This Zener diode voltage regulator maintains a constant output voltage V out, which is equal to Vz. That is how this operates as a voltage regulator. And here you can see this input voltage can be DC input voltage from a rectifier. So rectifier is, what is rectifier? It is a diode circuit which converts AC signal to pulsating DC, or in simple words it converts AC signal to DC. Or else this input voltage can be from a smoothing circuit. Smoothing circuit, as in the first class I told, it can be a clipper, clamper, or any diode based circuit. So this Zener diode operates in reverse bias condition. It will continue to work like a voltage regulator till a minimum current called as IZ minimum. So here you can see, as the reverse characteristic is plotted in the third quadrant. In the third quadrant, you can observe both voltage as well as current are in negative axis, right? So this voltage axis is negative as well as current axis is negative. Here, as you go deep into this current axis, you will represent that value as the minimum value. For example, IZ minimum will be somewhere here. Any value above IZ minimum means it can be here, right? So this is negative current axis, negative voltage axis. Therefore, IZ minimum will be the last value of current in this negative y axis. Right? See, for all values of current within this breakdown region, that is, here again I will take you to this characteristic. For all values of current, suppose this is IZ minimum, any value of current which lies from this point to IZ minimum, for any value of current, this Zener diode will successfully give you constant output voltage. If the value of current is outside this range, either the current is greater than IZ minimum or the current is less than this value, then this Zener diode voltage regulator may not work as voltage regulator, because always the voltage that you apply across this diode should be greater than Vz. If the current is not in this range, it means that either excess of reverse current has flown into the diode and the diode has been damaged, or else the required amount of minimum voltage, which should be greater than Vz, is not applied at the input side. These are the only two possibilities when the current Iz will not be between these two ranges. And one more thing here in this circuit, we can observe there is something called as RS, which is series resistance. Using this resistance, you can in turn vary this IS and you can control the value of IZ which flows through this diode. And one more thing, this series current IS, if you observe this circuit, it is sum of IL and IZ. So this is very important equation. IS, which is the series current, is sum of IL and IZ. Next, we shall analyze the operation of this voltage regulator under two cases. The first case is when no load is connected. No load is connected means just remove the load resistance here. There is no load resistance at the output, right? So here what will happen is the current is which flows from the input source will flow through iz. So this diode will have the maximum power dissipation. So what is meant by power dissipation is the amount of power lost in terms of heat. The next question is how the heat is generated. So the heat is generated whenever there is a finite amount of opposition or resistance for the flow of current. So whenever you apply voltage through the diode, current flows through the diode, and this flow of current is opposed by the diode. Nothing but the diode resists the flow of current. Due to this resistance, heat is generated, and the amount of heat which is lost and the amount of power which is lost in terms of heat is called as power dissipation. If there is no load connected here, this is open, right? So the value of IL will become 0. There will be no IL. It means that IS, which is sum of IL and IZ, if IL is 0, IS will be equal to IZ if IL is 0. I hope you understood this. Therefore, maximum power is dissipated by this diode. As long as, yes, any problem? So you should take utmost care in using the value of this resistance. You should take care that in the no load condition, when there is no load resistance, this should be essentially high, so that you are going to limit the amount of current which flows through this, and this Zener diode will not exceed its maximum power dissipating capability. That is, this Zener diode will not be made to face a large amount of current. So always you should take care of this resistance in case of no load condition. You should always make this resistance to a higher value so that you are going to limit the amount of current which flows through this diode. Case number 2, here there is RL. So we are going to connect RL here, and as I already told, IS will be sum of IZ and IL. Here both IZ as well as IL will be existing. So here we can understand this voltage regulation under two techniques. The first technique is line regulation. So line regulation means here there is variation in this voltage Vin or the supply voltage. This variation may be due to fluctuations, or you may vary the input voltage provided that Rs and RL are constant. That is what is line regulation. So in line regulation, the resistances Rs and RL will be constant. Only there would be variation or fluctuations in Vin. So under this condition, how this Zener diode provides constant output voltage Vout, which is equal to Vz. How it will do this task? As I already told, Is is sum of Iz and Il, right? So Is is sum of Iz and Il. Is equals Iz plus Il. For this line regulation, I told that Vn is varying, right? As this Vn is increased, if this Vn is increased by a small amount, this Is is generated due to this Vn, therefore Is will also increase. As you require constant voltage at the output, Is is sum of Iz and IL. Out of Iz and IL, only one can vary. IL cannot vary, therefore Iz has to vary. So if Vin increases, Is increases, in turn Iz increases. As long as Iz is within the range of that Iz minimum, what will happen is this Zener diode will be capable of maintaining constant output voltage, that is Vout will be equal to Vz, right? Next is, if this Vn decreases, what happens is 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 directly proportional to Vn, therefore Is should also decrease. Is is sum of IL and Iz, therefore out of these two IL and Iz will decrease, and as long as this Iz is within the range of that Iz minimum or that range of reverse breakdown operation, this Zener diode will be capable of maintaining a constant output voltage Vout, which is equal to Vz. So this is all about line regulation. So in spite of variation in Vin, that is Vn can increase or decrease, the value of Iz will be increased or decreased, and in turn a constant output voltage Vz will be maintained across this load resistance RL. That is what is line regulation. Under this line regulation, there is one important point to notice, that is the regulated output voltage, or simply the output voltage Vout, can be achieved if the input voltage is above certain minimum level, right? So your input voltage should be above certain minimum level, then only you can achieve a constant output voltage, because in order to achieve constant output voltage you require this diode to be operating in reverse breakdown region. To operate this diode in reverse breakdown region, you need to apply a certain amount of reverse voltage which is greater than the reverse breakdown voltage Vz of that diode. Suppose you apply a reverse voltage, which is less than the reverse breakdown voltage of the diode, then it will not work in the reverse breakdown region, and in turn it will not generate constant output voltage. So that is one important thing to be noticed in the line regulation. And one formula you can generate here, the percentage regulation. So percentage regulation is change in output voltage divided by change in input voltage into 100. Using this, you can calculate percentage regulation. Delta V naught is a small change in output voltage. Delta Vn is small change in input voltage Vn. Next, the second technique is load regulation. In a load regulation, what will happen is the input voltage Vin and the resistance Rs will be constant. Only the load, which is this are represented by this resistor RL, will vary. So vary means that this can be increased or this can be decreased, right? Suppose this RL value is increased, then what will happen is this IL value is going to decrease, right? So this IL will be, if you are going to increase this RL, if you are going to increase this RL, obviously IL value should decrease, right? As Is is sum of Iz and IL, but Is cannot decrease because because of this decrease in IL, Is cannot decrease. Therefore, this Iz will be slightly increased to maintain the total sum equal to the previous value. Is is equal to IL and Iz. If RL is increasing, RL will oppose the flow of IL. Therefore, IL will sufficiently come down. As this Is is sum of IL and Iz, and Is is constant because Vn is constant, this cannot be reduced. Therefore, to maintain the sum, Iz will in turn increase. Right? This is one point. Second thing is, if you decrease this RL, then what will happen is RL will allow more amount of IL to flow. Therefore, IL will increase. But you already know this Is is constant. Therefore, to maintain the sum of Is equals Iz plus IL, this Iz will come down by an equal amount, and the sum will be maintained. And as long as this Iz is within the reverse breakdown region, this Zener diode will be capable of maintaining constant output voltage which will be equal to Vz. So this is what is load regulation. And one important thing that you have to notice in this load regulation is you can achieve this constant output voltage as long as load resistance is maintained above a minimum value. So there is a minimum value for this load resistance also. Suppose assume that this load resistance is 0. Suppose this load resistance is 0. This load resistance is connected across these two terminals of the diode. If the resistance is 0, then what will happen is maximum current, the complete current will flow through this load resistance itself. No current will flow through this diode. Therefore, diode will not be conducting, and no question of constant voltage if diode is not conducting, right? There, therefore, always you should maintain a minimum value of this RL, right? How to find out the minimum value of RL which should be connected to this diode? We shall find out while solving some problems, some numerical examples. Therefore, always you should maintain a value RL which is greater than a minimum value. Otherwise, this diode will not be conducting and there will be no constant output voltage. Here also the percentage regulation can be found out using this formula. VNL means voltage, output voltage under no load, or voltage across this diode under no load. No load means you have not connected any resistance across these two terminals. That is the voltage no load. That is our voltage across Zener diode when no load resistance is connected, minus VFL means full load. Whenever there is a resistance across these two terminals, the voltage across this diode when there is resistance across these two terminals is voltage full load divided by no load voltage into 100 is the percentage regulation for this load regulation case. Next, before solving some of the problems, we shall understand the operation of this Zener diode as voltage regulator using our virtual labs. So I will take you to the virtual lab site. So this is the virtual lab site where we are finding out the operation of a Zener diode as voltage regulator. Is this visible? Okay. So the first case is line regulation. In line regulation means you are going to vary the input voltage. So this is input voltage. This is series resistance. This is a ammeter to measure IS, that is series current IS, which is being generated from this source VDC. Then you have one more ammeter to measure IZ. IZ is the reverse current that flows through this reverse biased Zener diode. You can observe the symbol here. The cathode or the negative terminal of Zener diodes is connected to the positive terminal of the supply. The anode, that is positive terminal of this Zener diode, is connected to the negative terminal of the supply, right? Then afterwards you have one more resistance. This is nothing but RL or load resistance. To measure the voltage across this load resistance, we have a voltmeter which is connected across the load resistance. Along with that, we have one ammeter IL. So this ammeter is actually connected in series with this resistance to measure the current through this resistance RL, right? So this is a series ammeter with respect to this resistance RL, right? So in line regulation, what we have to do initially is we have to maintain a constant value for this RS and constant value for this RL. So I will maintain a constant value for RL. So RS I have kept around, I will keep it around 2000, that is 2 kilo ohm. And RL is already 3100, around 3 kilo ohm, around 3 kilo ohm. Now what I will do is I will vary this input voltage, right? So initially I will make this 0. Initially I will make this 0 and I will take one reading. So this is added to the table. Then I will slightly increase the value. I will slightly increase the value to 2.8. I will take a reading. Then afterwards again I will slightly increase this. and I will this is increased to 6, so I will take a reading. Right, you can observe here the value of Vz for this diode is 10, but the applied voltage is not greater than 10, it is 6. As this is less than the Vz, Iz is 0 still. It means that this diode is off, right? And as you can observe here, right? So as the diode is off, whatever the voltage that you have applied here, the same thing is coming to the output voltmeter. Here output is also same. It means that the load current IL, right? So the IS is entirely flowing through this current IL, right? And I will give one more value. I will add to that table. Still Iz is 0. So here you can see VDC is greater than the Vz. Therefore, the a small amount of Iz is flowing. Why it is taken as minus means it is in the reverse direction. Therefore, to indicate that reverse direction, minus sign is there. Then few more values I will take. So I have taken sufficient readings here. So you can observe whatever maybe the voltage changes, right? You can see from serial number 5 to 11, the VDC value, it has changed from 11.2 up to 29.6. So for these changes, you can observe the output voltage. So the output voltage is 10, which is exactly equal to the Vz of the diode, that is reverse breakdown voltage, right? Is that clear? So any change in the input means this voltage VDC, right, results in no change in the output, right? And you may observe one more important thing here, right? Here you can see the important thing. So you can obtain constant output voltage only if the input voltage is above certain minimum level. So this minimum level you can find out here in this table, right? So the minimum level is nothing but 10 volt. So above 10 volt, that is from serial number 5 to 11. So these are the cases where input voltage VDC is about 10. What is 10? 10 is the VZ, or reverse breakdown voltage. So from 5 to 11, right, the regulator, the Zener diode is on, or it is working in reverse breakdown region. Therefore, it is working like a voltage regulator. From cases from serial number 1 to 4, the applied voltage is essentially less than Vz. Therefore, your diode is not on, which is indicated by this zero reverse current of the diode. Iz is 0 for these four cases. It means the diode is not on. As diode is not on, you are not getting constant output voltage, right? You are getting whatever the value that you have applied at the input. Same is reflected at the output. I hope this is clear. Now I will use a plot for this, right? So here you can see this is the value where VDC is around 11. So beyond this value, you will get a constant Vz across the diode. Below this value, right, it is not on, it is off. Therefore, you may not get a constant voltage. You will get voltage with respect to the applied voltage at the VDC. So this is all about line regulation. I hope this is clear. Now I will move on to load regulation, where we are going to vary the load. Is it visible? Okay, in load regulation, what you have to do is you have to vary this load resistance RL, and you have to keep this RS and VDC constant. So I will give some constant value for this VDC. So let it be 30 VDC. Zener voltage, I will keep that to some around 5, 5 or 6. So this is sufficient. Then I will keep the series resistance to some value, right? So I will try to vary this RL. So initially I will start with this small value. See, I have kept this VZ to 10. So the reverse breakdown voltage for this diode is 10, right? The reverse breakdown voltage is 10. And the load is very small value. I have kept the minimum value. The minimum value is 150 ohm, which is available here. So here you can see, here you have observed one point. What is that point? The constant output voltage you can get during this load regulation only if the load resistance is maintained above a minimum value, right? If the load resistance is not maintained above a minimum value, your diode will not be operating in a reverse breakdown region, and hence there will be no constant voltage across this load. Right? So here you can see VZ is 10, but the output voltage that you are getting is 30. So why you got 30 is the input voltage you have applied is 30. So the same value is being applied to this. Why the same value is applied to this? Because the current IZ is 0. This is not conducting. If this part is not conducting, so it is as good as connecting positive terminal of the battery through this RS, through this ammeter, through this load, right? So it is as good as a series connection of RS, IS ammeter, IL ammeter, and RL, right? If this is not present, therefore whatever the voltage that you apply here, same thing will appear at the output voltmeter. Now what I will do is I will slightly increase RL. I will change the value of RL. Still you can see this is not conducting. This is not conducting. Therefore output voltage is same as the input voltage. So for the first one, I will take a plot. I will take a value, right? For second one, again I will take the reading. For third one, right? So now you can observe when you have when you have slightly increased this RL above the minimum value, for example 382, suddenly there is flow of current IZ, means this diode is conducting. This diode is conducting. When this diode starts conduction, then what will happen is the voltage Vz of this diode will be appearing at the load. So the voltage across this load is exactly equal to Vz, that is V out is equal to Vz. So I will take this to the table. Next I will increase one more value. I will add this to table. Here also output V naught is equal to Vz. I will take one more value. I will add that to table, right? Next one more value, I will add it to table. Then one more value, I'm adding that to table, plus one more value. This also I will take in. Still see, you can observe the value of output V naught is equal to Vz, constant output voltage. So I have taken one more value. I have added that to table, and the last value I will take last value. I will add that to table, right? So here I have put the maximum available value for this RL. You can see the voltage V naught is still equal to Vz, right? So one important thing is, as you keep on increasing this RL, what will happen is this IL should decrease. Instead of that, as this should be maintained constant, what will happen is this IZ will be increasing in the equal proportion, for which this IL had to be reduced, right? For the same proportion, IZ will be increasing. That you can observe in this table. So here you can see the table, right? So serial number 1 and 2, serial number 1 and 2 as the value of RL. So these are the values of RL. As the value of RL, load resistance RL is very less, the diode, Zener diode is not conducting. That's why IZ is 0. As Zener diode is not conducting, the applied voltage at the input is appearing at the load. Across the load, you have same value as the input voltage. From serial number 3 till 10, from serial number 3 till 10, you have the value of this RL, which is above the minimum value of RL, right? So above the minimum value of RL, what will happen is the diode will conduct. Here you can see the change in the current, your change in the value of IZ. So IZ is increasing as you keep on varying this RL. See, as you keep on varying this RL, what happens is the IL should decrease. The IL should decrease. You can see the decrease in the value of IL, right? But what is IS? IS is sum of IL and IZ. Therefore, if IL is decreasing, this IZ has to increase to maintain the value of IS, right? Because is constant, is cannot decrease. If il is decreasing, is cannot decrease. Therefore iz will be increased by equal proportions to maintain the sum of is equals iz plus il. You can observe that here, right? If the zener voltage, if the load is increasing, right, so the il is decreasing, same proportions iz is increasing to maintain the sum of iz plus il. And here you can observe constant output voltage. So this is all about load regulation. We shall plot the graph also. So when you plot the graph here, you can observe initially you have kept small value for RL, right? You have kept small value of RL. Therefore diode is off. Zener diode is not operating in reverse breakdown region. Therefore no conduction. When you increase the value to a minimum value of 382 ohm, which is called as a minimum value for this load, beyond this value, for each value of RL, you can see that the diode is conducting. As the diode is conducting, a constant output voltage V out, which is equal to VZ. VZ is breakdown voltage of this diode. For this case, breakdown voltage is 10 volt. Therefore, for all values of RL, 400, 500, so on up to 1000, you have constant 10 volt for the output. So this is all about load regulation as well as line regulation. I hope the concept of Zener diode voltage regulator is very well understood by you people. Now, coming back to the PPT, is the PPT visible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Getting back to this PPT, now let us solve some numerical problems. So the first problem you can see on your screen. So the circuit of figure, so this is figure number. This circuit I have directly taken from the textbook, so I am maintaining the same number for this diagram. As a Zener diode connected across the load, right? So this is the Zener diode. This is the load RL. This is series resistance, which is 200 ohm. The voltage that is applied as the input voltage is 20 volt. This is unregulated input voltage. The output voltage you are expecting here, right? Apart from this, some more data that is given is VZ equals 10 volt. VZ is reverse breakdown voltage of this diode. It is 10 volt, and the dynamic resistance RZ is 0, right? And PZ maximum means the maximum power that this diode can dissipate is 350 milliwatt. So the maximum power dissipation is set to occur when maximum IZ value flows through this diode. Whenever maximum IZ value flows through this diode, the diode is set to dissipate maximum power. The value of that is 350 milliwatt. What you have to do is, first thing is, for RL value 180 ohm, for RL value 180 ohm, you have to determine all currents and voltages, right? So solution, see, initially they have given very small value for RL. You have already experienced that if there is a small value of this RL, what would happen is that this Zener diode may not conduct. If this Zener diode is not conducting, then what will happen is this is as good as open circuit. The entire current IR will flow through IL. It means that as IZ is 0, IL will be equal to IR. So you have to find out IL. How to find out IL means both are equal. So this is as good as a series connection of this resistance, which is 200 ohm, along with RL, right? So RL value for first case is 180. Therefore, you have to add 200 and 180. These two sum will come in the denominator, and in the numerator you will get this voltage 20. Right? Here I have used the Ohm's law. Right? So what is Ohm's law? V equals I into R. To find out I, what I have to do, I have to take R on the LHS side. So I will be equal to V by R. So in this circuit, V is 20 volt in the numerator divided by R. R is the effective resistance of these two series resistances. Therefore, you have to add 200 with 180. Therefore, you will get IL value as 52.6 milliampere. So both are equal to same. Entire current IR will flow through this because this is not conducting. IZ is 0. Next, what you have to do is you have to find out the value of Vz. So what will happen in this case is, as this is not conducting, whatever the value that you have applied should come across the load, right? Therefore, what here, how to find out this Vz or VL is, you have to subtract this voltage. Here you can see this node is at 20 volt. This node is at 20 volt. And what about this node? So this is again we are into, hello.
Sir.
Okay. So this is resistance Rs, right? I into R. So whatever you have got here is 52.6 milliampere. This is your I. So IR into this value, which will give the voltage drop across this, right? So whatever the voltage drop that will appear here should be subtracted from your applied voltage 20 volt. Then you will get the remaining voltage as the output at this RL. The same thing is used here. So the total applied voltage is 20 volt subtracted with the voltage drop across this resistance Rs. So the voltage drop you can find out by multiplying the current IR into the resistance. So the resistance is 200 into IR. IR and IL you have found out to be 52.6 milliampere. Therefore, you will get the voltage across this RL as 9.48, which is always obviously less than 10 volt. Therefore, our assumption that Zener diode is not conducting is correct. Next, what you have to do is we have to repeat the process of part A by taking the value of RL as 450 ohm. So the value of RL is slightly higher compared to the RL of first one. Therefore, let us assume that Zener diode is conducting. If Zener diode is conducting, current IZ is flowing as well as IL is flowing. So if Zener diode conducts, it means that the voltage across this diode is equal to the rated voltage, which is Vz equals 10 volt. Therefore, the same voltage should appear across this RL also whenever the Vz is conducting. That we have seen practically also. Therefore, from that directly you calculate IL. VL is Vz, that is 10 volt. IL will be the voltage, that is 10 volt divided by the value of RL. Value of RL is 450. Therefore, 10 divided by 450, you will get 22.2 milliampere. After calculating IL, you have to calculate IR. How to find out IR means, first, what is IR? IR is potential difference across these two nodes divided by the resistance. So the first terminal is at 20-volt potential, second terminal is at 10-volt potential, because voltage across this diode is 10 volt, right? So 20 minus 10 divided by 200. 20 minus 10 divided by 200 will give you IR value. After getting IL and IR, what you know is this IR is sum of IZ and IL. Therefore, to find out IZ, subtract IL from IR. IR is 50. 50 minus IL. 50 minus IL will give you 27.8 milliampere. That is the value of IZ. Once you get IZ, what you can do is you can find out the power which is dissipated across this diode. So the power dissipation is given by V into I, right? So I is 27.8 milli into V. Voltage across this diode is constant, which is reverse breakdown voltage Vz. Therefore, 27.8 into 10, you will get 278 milliwatt. This is in terms of milli. Current is in terms of milli. Therefore, you get 278 milliwatt, which is obviously less than the maximum value. Maximum given value is 350 milliwatt. Therefore, this is less than 3 milliwatt, which is good. Then part C, find the value of RL for Zener to draw maximum power. The Zener diode draws maximum power when maximum value of IZ flows through this, right? So whenever maximum value of IZ flows through this, what is the power dissipated? It is 350 milliwatt. From this data, you can find out the voltage. Sorry, you can find out the current, right? So the maximum current will be equal to the power dissipated divided by Vz. Vz is 10, therefore you will get 35 milliampere. Once you get this, then what you have to do is you have to calculate the IR value. So this point is same. This is at 10 volt because voltage across this is 10. So this point is at 10, this point is at 20. Therefore, IR is equal to 20 minus 10 divided by the resistance 200, which is 50 milliampere. In part B also, the value of IR is same, is constant. Then afterwards, using this equation, what is that equation? IR equals IZ plus IL. You can find out IL. So IL will be IR minus IZ. Therefore, it comes down to be 15 milliampere. After finding this, once you get IL, you have to find out RL value. To find out RL value, use the Ohm's law again. So what does Ohm's law tell? V equals I into R. Therefore, R is equal to V by I, right? So V is 10 volt. Whatever the voltage across this,
But Ohm's law is not valid for semiconductors and diodes, no, sir.
sorry.
Ohm's law is not valid for semiconductor
Yeah,
devices.
you are absolutely correct. But here, what we are doing is we are replacing this diode with the equivalent circuit. That's why I told that the application of equivalent circuit is to perform circuit analysis. That is to perform calculation of voltage and current. So we are replacing that diode with the equivalent circuit. Always, whenever we are doing circuit analysis where semiconductors like diode, transistors are present, we have to replace the semiconductor, diode, or transistor with their equivalent circuits so that we can easily apply Ohm's law kind of thing and we can perform the circuit analysis. I hope you are clear.
Yes, sir.
Right? Then you will get RL equals 667 ohm. Then the last part is find the minimum value of RL for the Zener to be just in on state. For the diode to be just in on state, right? This IZ is very small value. This IZ is very small value. You will have the voltage across this VZ to be 10 volt, right? So IZ is very small value. You can assume that IZ is 0, right? But the diode is slightly on, the just on, right? So try to find out IR. IR is the same. Like you have found out IR here. It will be same 50 milliampere. As this IZ is 0, you can assume that IL is almost nearly equal to IR. Therefore, IL and IR both are equal to 50 milliampere. Now VL, what is VL? Voltage across this RL. As this is on, if this is on, the value of VZ, which is 10, will be equal to VL. VL will also be equal to this value. Therefore, VL and VZ both are equal to 10. Now you find out the minimum value of RL again by using the same technique, Ohm's law. So now the voltage across this is VZ, which is 10, divided by the value of current IL. IL is equal to IR. Therefore, put 50 milliampere here, right? So this will go to numerator. It will become plus 3, 10 to the power of plus 3. Therefore, you will get 200 ohm as the result. So this is sufficient for today's class. I hope you understood the most of the concept, and also you are familiar with the usage of virtual lab. In that virtual lab, you can try almost all circuits which are there in your syllabus, and you can find out the practical output using the virtual lab. In today's class, the attendees are around 51. So let us wind up today's class. You may exit.